Welcome back to The Explainer. Look, today we're serving up some serious tough love. If you've been struggling to permanently break out of those lazy routines, you are in the exact right place. And hey, we are not looking at generic, temporary life hacks today. Instead, we're going to explore a highly structured, absolutely incredible Japanese framework that is designed to completely reset your work ethic and actually help you execute your goals. This isn't just hype, it's about fundamentally shifting the psychology of how you approach your entire day. So let me ask you a question right off the bat. Is your brain tricking you every single morning? Like, are you just exhausted from your mind showing you these massive, incredible dreams at night when you're laying in bed, only to completely retreat into laziness the second you wake up and it's time to actually do the work? You have this grand vision of who you want to be, but the bridge between that midnight motivation and daytime execution just seems totally broken. It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? Well, we constantly fall for this illusion of the perfect start. You know the drill. You convince yourself that you need the absolute perfect laptop setup. Or you tell yourself, okay, I'll just wait for the first of the month to begin. But let's be real, that first of the month never really arrives, does it? Our brains use perfectionism as this highly sophisticated, totally disguised form of procrastination. We're literally masking our fear of failure as preparation. Waiting for everything to be flawless is just a daily deception. It completely wastes your day, leads to zero execution, and traps you in this cycle of endless scrolling.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to hit the daily deception, followed by Kaizen, Shokunin, Soji, and finally, the silent master.
Let's jump right into the first one, the daily deception. Think about the history of Japan for a second. We're talking about a nation that was devastated by 2 nuclear bombs. It's geographically isolated, resource scarce, and it faces significant earthquakes on a daily basis. And yet, it stands today as one of the top global economies in the world. How is that even mathematically or historically possible? Well, it's because the Japanese don't rely on sweet, feel-good motivational talk to survive. Their culture is rooted in a DNA of highly disciplined, totally unbreakable systems. Motivation is fleeting, right? It comes and goes with whatever mood you're in. Systems, however, are reliable. And if you adapt these cultural systems into your own daily life, I guarantee your output is going to radically transform. Moving right along to our second concept, Kaizen. Kaizen is famously known as the 1-minute rule. And honestly, it is such an incredibly human-friendly system. We all do this thing where we lie to ourselves at midnight, feeling super motivated, promising our brain we're going to wake up and immediately do 2 hours of grueling, heavy work. But then morning comes, we feel exhausted, and we quit before we even start. Kaizen asks you to make a completely different promise. You commit to doing that daunting task for exactly 1 minute every single day at the exact same time without missing a single day. Now, what is absolutely fascinating here is the sheer power of this single number, 1. Just 1 minute sounds almost ridiculously small, right? But modern neuroscience tells us that procrastination actually isn't a time management problem at all. It's an emotional regulation problem. It's driven by the overwhelm of a massive task triggering a literal threat response in your amygdala. By shrinking your commitment down to just 60 seconds, you bypass your brain's defense mechanism entirely. You're no longer asking your brain to climb a mountain. You're just asking it to take one single step. And here's how this builds into real, undeniable momentum. Step 1, you commit to just that 1 minute. Step 2, because the ask is so microscopic, the brain's fear and resistance simply vanish. That emotional friction, which is always at its absolute highest right before you begin, drops to 0. So you open the laptop. Then, step 3 is where the real magic happens. A psychological trigger goes off. Once you cross that 60-second threshold and break the distraction loop, that 1 minute automatically turns into 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or even an hour of deep, focused work. You bypassed the friction, tricked your brain into starting, and momentum just effortlessly took over.
All right, let's look at the third concept, Shokunin.
When I was going through the source material for this explainer, this specific concept completely blew my mind. Shokunin is defined as complete immersion and absolute dedication to your craft, entirely ignoring immediate results or financial reward. It's about becoming deeply, almost spiritually devoted to the process right in front of you. In Japan, an individual practicing Shokunin will treat a task as simple as sweeping a street as if it is the absolute most important job in the entire world. They aren't frantically looking around for praise or a promotion or a massive payout. Their sole focus, their intrinsic motivation, is purely on mastering the work currently in their hands.
We see this modern trap literally everywhere today, right? Chasing results. We're completely addicted to cheap dopamine loops. You'll spend 2 days learning a new skill, like video editing or coding, and by day 3 you are fiercely frustrated wondering why you haven't landed a massive 5 lakh client yet. When you don't get that immediate external validation, you abandon the skill and chase the next shiny new trend. Contrast that with shokunin. True mastery comes when you stop obsessing over the outcome and completely immerse yourself in getting incredibly good at the craft itself. The reward is the slow compounding growth of your own abilities.
Okay, moving to our fourth rule, soji.
Soji is the strict practice of physically cleaning your environment first thing in the morning. And there's this phenomenal detail from the source material that might be incredibly shocking if you're in a Western audience. In Japan, from elementary schools all the way up to massive corporate offices, there are often no janitors at all. Why? Because everyone from 5-year-old kids to billionaire CEOs cleans their own space. It is a mandatory daily ritual. They do this to prepare their minds for the day, intentionally and physically eliminating the external mess to completely eradicate internal mental noise. The crucial takeaway here is absolute action. Before you even touch your keyboard tomorrow morning, I want you to spend the first 10 minutes physically resetting your space. Pick up the clothes scattered on your bedroom floor. Organize those 10 to 20 random papers clustered all over your desk. Silence the useless buzzing notifications on your phone. You just have to stop trying to build a massive, wildly successful career while you're sitting in the middle of a pile of garbage. Your environment dictates your output for sure.
And why does this matter so deeply on a neurological level? Well, cognitive load theory tells us that visual clutter literally competes for your brain's processing power. Every item out of place is a micro-distraction constantly demanding your attention. A clean screen and a clean table automatically silence that chaotic noise in your head. By removing those physical distractions, you are literally freeing up brain power and essentially doubling your capacity to focus on your main target.
Which brings us to our final point today, the silent master.
When you finally stack Kaizen, Shokunin, and Soji together, you unlock what is known as the unfair advantage. Look, on one side, you've got the loud average crowd. They're constantly chasing the newest trend, posting endless nonsense on Instagram, desperately trying to look successful to total strangers online. But you, armed with this incredibly grounded mindset, you become the silent master. You are quietly and efficiently building a massive success graph in your beautifully clean room, taking it one single minute at a time, entirely focused on mastering your craft without needing to prove your worth to anyone else.
The quote here just hits the nail on the head. Leave the show-off behind and become a silent master. Guys, this is your tough love wake-up call. Stop making excuses. Stop announcing your massive 10-year plans to the whole world while you're sitting in a messy room doing absolutely zero work. It's time to step back, embrace the process, start executing your goals in complete silence, and let the undeniable results speak for themselves.
So, I'm going to leave you with a critical question to chew on. When you close this explainer, are you going to go right back to your lazy routine, scrolling endlessly through your phone and making the exact same excuses? Or are you going to drop a discipline code in the comments right now and commit to taking total control of your life by executing your very first 1 minute of Kaizen tomorrow morning? The choice is entirely yours. Keep learning, keep executing, and I'll see you in the next one.